Hello and welcome to Falmouth Classics 2024. It's with great pleasure I welcome you to this year's event, which very similar to the previous events, and hopefully you will enjoy and have a great time while you're here. I'm Paul Hobson, I'm chairman of this year's event, having taken up the reins from Keith Tullett, who's been doing the job for the last 5 years. And I have to say thank you to him for a fantastic job that he's done in that time. I'm sure you will agree. This year's event is very similar to previous events in so much that we have boats arriving on the Thursday, racing on Friday and Saturday, and then the parade of sail on the Sunday. So whatever part you're playing your part in, it should be good fun. Falmouth has its usual array of social events going on. Our own event on the Thursday with the welcome on the pontoon. On Friday night we have the reception in the art gallery. Saturday there's the supper, and then on Sunday it's just the wave goodbye time, hopefully having had a great event. The Falmouth Classics event would not be able to go ahead without the support of its sponsors and indeed its volunteers, many of whom you will see throughout the event. We thank them all for that and for their continued support. Hopefully you'll have the opportunity to interact with them, see them at the Maritime Village. I wish you all a very good event with fair winds, calm seas, and an enjoyable social event. I now hand you over to our race officers who will talk you through the events themselves, the sailing events, and also to our parade commander who will take you through the parade of sail on Saturday. Good luck everybody, have a great event, and see you all next year.
Hello, I'm Kay Price. I'm the Principal Race Officer for the Classics Association event at the weekend. Welcome to you all, of course. We're very lucky this year. We have a wonderful boat as our committee boat, Irene. The owners are loaning it to us. She's at the moment with Turn to Starboard, the charity, who are using her this year, and the owners have let us use it for this weekend. As you know, she's a Bridgewater built boat, been restored. She'll be a very good platform for us. Interestingly, she needs 3.5 meters of water, and when we anchor, it will be half an hour getting the anchor up. So the lesson from that is that we're not going to be moving the committee boat about a great deal, so look out for us. You'll be able to see her easily in the Carrick roads because of the signals that we display as well. On the boat I have an excellent team, recording, radio, doing all the necessary jobs that make the race go well. So we're very lucky with that. The start line will be on the main mast and a pin end, orange, and all I can say is that we will have probably a lot of ebb tide. It's only neaps, but look out on the start line because you could get swept over in some circumstances, which is not a good start to your race. We're very pleased to welcome, we hope, German boat, we hope French boats, and particularly also the Salcombe Yawls fleet are with us this year. The other boat that will be on the water is the Finnish boat, which is John and Lizzie Melkin. She is going to be on Tango Boy. Tango Boy will have a blue buoy on it, and they will be flying a blue flag, and that will be the finish. You will always finish there. You leave the committee boat to starboard always. Carrick Roads is where we'll be racing, and hopefully into the bay. There doesn't look as if there'll be a lot of wind, but you never know this far ahead. Within the Carrick Roads, there are two major obstacles really. Off Black Rock Beacon there is a reef running northwest, and at St Maur's Castle there is Lugo Rock, and that is well marked by a channel buoy. You always go to seaward of that buoy if you're going into St Maur's at all. If the tide is ebbing, be careful along the edges of the Carrick Roads because there could be one or two outlying rocks just off the land. We have quite a number of commercial vessels, certainly large ones that come in, and we may have to postpone if that happens. The commercial vessels otherwise will be the ferries that to and fro around. All these you give plenty of space to them, please, and it's set out in the sailing instructions. They are commercial vessels. Also, we have divers occasionally who come in. Hopefully their launch will fly the necessary flag notifying us that they are diving, but you might see orange buoys coming to the surface, small orange buoys. They denote a diver who is then down underneath there. So please know this. We hope we can use the bay for the larger boats, and that you will get to go across the bay, but it is very dependent upon the sort of winds that we have. Our sailing instructions will be a hard copy in your welcome bag, but also they are online and have been for some time now, as is the notice of race. The sailing instructions give you all the information you need for your racing. Please take note of them. There are 3 appendices. One is the starting time for the boats, which is slightly different to last year because we have some different fleets and there are many starts because we have a large number of boats here. The other appendices is the courses, which are set out very clearly with the rounding red or green. I think we might add an amendment if it's very light winds to those courses, so please check before you are racing. The sailing instructions, the further appendix is the chart of this area giving the marks and the latitude and longitude of the each buoy. Some are channel markers, some are laid. The only laid one that we would use for the day is a windward mark if it was a westerly wind. Otherwise they are all going to be permanently there for the racing. We will try and get a good finish for you. It's difficult if there's not much wind and the tide is ebbing, but we look forward to seeing you all on the water and welcome you. We are running this regatta under the RYA Racing Rules of Sailing, and therefore you need to be aware of the rules regarding any hearings that need to be held or adjudications. Also, on the start line, when you have started, you should not cross the start line either way after that time. If an orange flag has been removed from the committee boat or the pin end orange buoy has been moved, then there is no longer a start line. Otherwise, do not go through it either way. Je souhaite une bienvenue chaleureuse au bateau Grumeau traditionnel et classique au Festival de Falmouth. J'espère qu'il fera bateau pendant le week-end, que vous passerez un petit congé très amicable. Amusez-vous bien, les vrais marins et les grands voiliers. Bon navigant. Et les boats from Germany, we welcome you. Willkommen. I would now like to pass over to Robert Talbot, who is the race officer also, with the further information for you. Look forward to seeing you on the water.
Hello, I'm Robert Talbot, and as Kay said, I'm the Deputy Race Officer and I shall be helping Kay on the committee vessel. The committee team the race committee's priority is your safety, and key to that is communication. Be sure to listen to VHF channel 77 throughout, and please try to avoid sitting on the transmit button because that prevents us from communicating with anybody else. We shall supplement the VHF with the WhatsApp channel, and you can join that through the QR code on the sailing instructions. The only visual signals you'll see on the committee vessel are the orange flag, showing that it is the committee vessel, and signal flags for recalls or postponements. All other communications will be by VHF. We shall be complying with the RYA safeguarding policy, and if you have any concerns, you should raise them with Gilly Grigg, and you'll be able to find her in the race office in the Windjammer Cafe. Please comply with all of the harbour bylaws, and be sure also to keep clear of moorings and exclusion zones in the harbour. Also, please comply with all race officials' instructions, and those include any instructions that might be given by the patrol boat crews. When you're finishing your race, please make sure that your boards are clearly visible to the finishing boat. And that particularly applies if you might be finishing on port tack, when often the boards might be obscured by your genoa. That obviously only applies to boats with boards. Other boats should have visible sail numbers. Be sure to pick up your welcome pack from the Windjammer Cafe race office. The welcome pack will include sailing instructions and your boards. And you can find the race office in the Windjammer Cafe. There's a What 3 Words address in the sailing instructions, and it's located in the far right corner of the cafe as you come through the entrance door. We look forward to seeing you on the water, and we all hope you have some enjoyable racing. Thank you.
This is the final part of the briefing, and it's going to cover the Parade of Sail and Power, which takes place on Sunday the 16th. I'm Viv Rose, I'm the parade director, and I'll be out on the water during the parade in a rib controlling things. Now, most of the details, all the detail in fact, for this parade are in the parade instructions, and they're available when you register by the Water Sports Centre, in the Water Sports Centre, and pick up your welcome pack. The parade instructions will be in there. Now, we know from previous experience that a lot of you don't register and don't pick up your pack. So if you forget to pick up your pack, then you can still find the parade instructions on the Falmouth Classics website, falmouthclassics.org.uk. You need to read them. It gives a lot more detail than I'm going to give, and most importantly, it lets you know where you're going to take place with what type of boat you've got in the parade. Now, the long-range forecast for the 16th isn't great as far as the wind's concerned. We've probably going to get less than 10 knots of wind. It'll be nice and calm. The wind will be from the west. The tide is flooding, so the first part of the course will be against the tide. So sailing will be a bit limited, but we want to try and sail if we can. It doesn't matter how long we take to get around the route within reason. The parade's going to end at around midday when all the safety boats will disappear. But obviously, if you can sail, it makes much more of a spectacle of the whole event. The parade itself will start at 10:30 local. There's a muster area within the harbour that we want you to go to, and you'll see from the parade instructions your start time for your class of boat or length of boat. It's important that you don't get into the muster area too soon, because it's only a small area and it'll get crowded. So note what time you're supposed to start and leave your berths, your anchorage, your mooring accordingly to get there on time. The start area itself is off the eastern breakwater in the harbour. That's the first breakwater you see when you come into the harbour from the south. There isn't a start line as such. In the past we've had a start boat marking a start line, but we're not having that this year. You will see, however, Royal Navy's HMS Blazer, a patrol boat, in the starter area. She will be marking where the parade starts from. The parade itself will be led off by HMS Blazer, and she'll be followed by the two Falmouth lifeboats, the all-weather and the inshore lifeboat. And then we're lucky enough this year to have, I think, at least 8 vintage lifeboats taking part. Remember that it is the 200th celebration of the formation of the RNLI, and it's been fantastic that they can turn up and take part. And then Irene of Bridgewater will be the first sailing vessel to lead the rest of the boats, and the rest of the detail and the procession you can see from the parade instructions. We want to sail if possible. If you need to go out into the Carrick roads to set sail and so that you can make headway up towards Pendennis Point, then do so. Obviously use common sense. Don't disappear over to the far eastern side of the Carrick roads to do that. You should be okay because the wind is going to be from the west, so hopefully we'll get a nice beam reach going up towards Pendennis. Pendennis is the first start point. It's the first point on the route. On the way to Pendennis, you will see one of the Falmouth pleasure boats, Moyana, anchored to the left of your track. Now, we have some VIPs and all the sponsors are on that boat, and they're going to be judging several things that we have to give us prizes, like the best dressed boat, the best dressed crew, the best fancy dress, and things like that. We'll talk more about fancy dress a bit later on. So, when you go past Moyana, remember to leave at the port and wave and holler and cheer as you go past and give the spectators a good show. And it's important when you're making that progression around the route to make it look neat and tidy. We don't want massive gaps in the parade, and we don't want to go too fast. We want to keep it to between 3 and 4 knots. We're only going to be about 45 minutes to an hour maximum on the route. So we've got plenty of time. It's a short route, and we want to make ourselves look good. The Carrick Roads, when we fill it with the number of boats that are going to take part, it looks fantastic if everybody's got their sails up, and with the motorboats there as well. It's a spectacle, and there will be a lot of spectators, particularly at Pendennis and on the route to Pendennis, and on the St Maur's side by the castle. I'll be on board on a rib myself for the day on channel 77. That's the main VHF channel for the parade, and I'll be accompanied also around the route by up to 4 safety patrol boats, all ribs from the various yacht clubs that are coming along to support the event. So channel 77 is the primary VHF channel. Please don't talk on it unless you have to. It's not a chat channel, and we want basically radio silence from the participants unless you have some sort of emergency and need assistance from one of the safety boats. Now, the route itself, we're going to go to Pendennis. We need to avoid Black Rock. You'll have all seen Black Rock as you came into the harbour. There is a reef extending to the northwest of Black Rock for about 50 metres. Just be aware of that. We're a half tide, so it should be covered, but don't go too close to Black Rock. And to ensure you don't, we've put a southerly 105 there, call sign Bullseye, and they'll be flying a very large Falmouth Harbour blue flag, and I want you to leave her to port. She's the turning boat mark. You'll then travel eastwards and go around the Black Rock buoy before turning north to go towards the finish point, passing St Maur's Castle on the way. Now, the finish point is the beam, the port hand channel marker, West Narrows. When you've finished, then either depart Falmouth, go back to your berth and moor up, or stay out for the day and do a bit of sailing. If, however, you leave the course early, then please do let us know on channel 77 or inform one of the safety boats. If you do leave, we provide you with some what turns out to be very expensive number boards to go on your boats. We'd like you to make every effort to get those boards back to us. We lose them every year and we have to buy more. Just hail a safety boat and give them your number board. That would be much appreciated. Now, I mentioned that there's going to be a fancy dress theme. Last year it was pirates and it was very successful. Many of you took part in it. The Royal Navy won it, so let's see if we can beat them this time. Now, to help celebrate the RNLI's 200th anniversary, we've chosen the theme Rescued and Rescuers. And we'd like you to use your imagination and dress up. There will be an amazing prize for the best dressed boat. So it would be great to see you out there taking part in that fancy dress competition. Okay, that concludes my brief. Remember, you've got to read the parade instructions. To make this go well, you need to be clued up about what's going on. If we get it right, it'll look fantastic. We've got it right every year so far. Let's continue that excellent tradition. It'll be a great day. It's a lot of fun, and we very much hope. Well, we know a lot of you are going to participate, and we thank you for that. And we look forward to seeing you out there on Sunday, the 16th of June, starting at 10:30. That concludes the briefing for Falmouth Classics 2014.
2024.
That concludes the briefing for the Parade of Sale of Falmouth Classics 2024. Thank you.